Hey, how are you all doing? It's been a little bit of time since I filmed last. I thank you so much for the comments on the last video. I will get or try to get to responses to all of them when time permits. But today I just wanted to make a quick announcement for 2023 winter classes. Many of you have been asking me by email what I will have offered for now for preparing for next year and or for AIME, AIME, and or about the various textbooks that I teach from. I typically teach only from the AOPS textbooks. That's what I use in my classes. People ask, how long does it take and how much does it cost? How many weeks? How many hours? I actually don't do things like most commercial enterprises do. I do not have a set number of weeks that I tell you the book will be done by. And the reason that I don't do that is I don't leave any concept out. We cover everything extremely thoroughly. We don't skip a single question. We do all challenge. We do all review. All of it will either be done in class or as homework. I will take the book as the lecture material and I will expand upon it and talk about different ways to analyze a problem and solve it, point out the importance of certain solve paths and how to go quickly, how to move efficiently. And I'll tie in various ideas that may not be listed on the page. And I basically just use it as the outline from which to teach. And there's homework assigned through a Google Classroom, and the students will complete it by the time of the next session. And then at the start of that session, they will ask all of their questions, and I go through each and every single one of them. There's no question not done. When you finish a course with me, say Intro to Counting and Probability or Intro to Number Theory, the students typically have very high levels of understanding at the end of the course, much higher than any other course can provide. However, there's a trade-off. We don't know how long it takes. It depends on how much the students understand in class. I make this determination by giving them questions in class to solve after lecture portions, kind of seeing where the knowledge is, the level of understanding. And as students get more and more accustomed to it, we then move on to the next section and assign the rest as homework, and so on at the start of each class. So in this way, there's nothing left behind. You're not in chapter 7 and you didn't understand chapter 3. There's no challenge problems that will not be done. And your ability and confidence in what you're doing is much higher with the trade-off that we don't know how long it takes. So having said that, these are the classes that I have starting next week, Monday, December 11th, from 4:30 to 6 p.m. These are Pacific time zone times. 4:30 to 6 p.m. AMC 12 PTR beginning Monday, December 11th. What is a PTR? It's past test review. We will typically go through one test a week once we get far enough from the year 2000. We are going to start back at the year 2000 and do the 2000 and 2001 tests. There was no A and B in those years. We do both of those and review them for 1.5 hours. We go through every question the students ask, as many as I know how to do. For older tests, I can do all 25, of course, and talk about the different strategies, speed mechanisms, small notebook concepts, analysis of different ways to approach it. We may do more than one solve process. And it gives students a chance to slowly build up their knowledge base as far as the way the item writers like to think, the types of concepts that they put. I will point out this is a small notebook concept, add it to your small notebook as we work through it. And we'll talk about those kinds of aspects, trap answers, how to spot them, how to dodge them. We're going to analyze problem solving in general as we learn various concepts. When we cover a concept that requires some background theory or knowledge, I will lecture that theory. I will explain why it's true and what justifies it and when to use it and that kind of thing. So I will develop the concept as we work through, depending on the class's ability level and their knowledge base. So if we use a certain theorem, I'll talk about how to memorize that theorem, how to recognize it in a problem, what the best way to apply it is as far as time efficiency goes, things like that. Students are encouraged to ask all of their questions that they skipped or got wrong or took too much time on. That class starts next Monday from 4:30 to 6 p.m. Pacific. Then there's going to be Tuesdays an AMC 10 past test review. These classes cover every test from the year 2000 to present day. And we will go through all of them and you will finish approximately in late October of next year. After we get through the first couple weeks of class, we typically only have time to do one test in that hour and a half. If there's not enough questions, I will pick things out from the problem sets to talk about, what are different ways to approach this kind of problem, or what things should we recognize as far as stimulus response. You see something, how do you react? Because we're trying to train these reactions so that we can generate more efficiency, more speed on the contest. So after that, on Wednesdays, I am planning to right now, I don't know for sure, planning to have possibly an AIME prep problem discussion and analysis past test review. This would be going only until the AIME course is taken. It's ideal for first-time AIME qualifiers. I am not as good at the AIME as I am at the AMC. I'm adequate, decent, above average, but I probably can't do a lot of the final 5. I can do about 1 to 10, 1 to 11 maybe. And the reason why I don't work towards the final 5 is I don't get that many students every year who need that content. So if you're somebody who's trying to make USAMO and you need 11 or 12, you might want to look to a different teacher for that. This would be ideal for first-time AIME qualifiers looking to score between 5 and 10 and really just get accustomed to the thinking processes and approaches that you might use on AIME. So this class would ideally begin Wednesday, December 13th. Then on Thursday, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. This class is not yet decided. That's why it's in green. What I wrote here is it could be Intro to Counting and Probability. It could be Intro to Number Theory. We do use the AOPS texts. You will need your own copy of all of these texts. None will be provided to you. You need to purchase them from someone else or from their website or their online copy if you wish. You will also need the solutions for all of these texts to participate so that you can grade your work and then come to class and know which questions you need help on or further discussion and analysis. Then Friday, 5 to 6:30 p.m. These are all Pacific times again. It is going to be AMC 8 prep. This class will run until the AMC 8 is held in January. I may open a second class from 6:30 to 8 p.m. It actually will probably continue past this point and we will switch over to Mathcounts. So we probably won't just go until January. Currently, this class has a lot of students. If I get a handful more, I will open a second class from 6:30 to 8 p.m. and we'll split the groups. So then Saturdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time is an AMC fundamentals course. This is essentially the bedrock of a lot of your problem solving techniques and formulas. The textbook that we use is volume 1. Again, we go cover to cover. We cover everything extensively in the text. So when you're done with it, you will have essentially a mastery of this text. This is a great text for geometry and for algebra and general problem solving. For counting and probability and number theory, it's rather weak, although we will use the chapters that cover those topics in order to develop the concepts in some way, but you're not going to get as much adequate knowledge from it as you would from, say, the Thursday class. The Thursday class, it could be something different. We could do intro to algebra, we could do intro to geometry, we could do an intermediate text. It's basically going to be an on-demand class. I haven't decided what it is. If you're interested in taking any of those classes, basically any textbook that the Art of Problem Solving produces, I would use this time slot for it depending on what gets the most interest. Again, we don't know how long the class takes. It will go until the book is finished and so on and so forth. Finally, I've never done in the winter camp sessions that go 5 days a week for about 3 hours. I had a parent approach me about this recently, and I wanted to put this out as a feeler. If you would be interested in doing a winter camp session for 3 hours a day, there'd be a 20-minute break. It would be 10 sessions. It would run the 26th to the 30th on the first week, which is a Saturday. And the second week, it would go January 2nd through January 6th, also a Saturday the 6th. This leaves off Christmas Day and New Year's. And so it's Tuesday through Saturday. The class times would probably be from 9 a.m. to 12:30 with a 20-minute break. It's going to end around there. And the next class would run probably from 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. The class, again, it would probably be Intro to Counting and Probability and Intro to Number Theory. And in this time, doing 3 hours a day with a homework commitment, we can probably finish the entire text. Okay, the cost for the class is not determined. If there's enough interest, I will reduce the cost. If there's like, say, 10 students, the cost would not be as high as if there's only 3 or 4 students. So you'll have to reach out to me to inquire about it, put your name on a list of people interested in this course. If enough people are interested, 3 or more, maybe 4 or more students, I will run this course. I would basically, when I run this class, it takes about 26 hours of in-class time to complete the text, approximately 13 weeks of 2-hour classes. Why is it approximately? Because again, if students are not understanding, I slow down. I do not make students match my syllabus. I don't want you to lack understanding. I want you to finish the text and have 100% confidence that you can do many of the most difficult questions involving those ideas. So that's why we don't know the exact amount of time that it would take. If this class was not able to finish in that time, 27 hours of in-class, we might add 1 extra session, and depending on the number of students, we would see how that goes in a follow-up session to go over final questions or something like that from the final chapter of the book. So if you're interested in any of these classes, please reach out. I do have, this is my classes from now going forward. And if you have any questions, you can ask by email. I try to respond as quickly as I can. I do not have any employees. It's just me. And if I'm teaching, I will not stop teaching to respond to your emails. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've all been well. I will try to get back to filming some more of the solutions from the AMC 10 and AMC 12 from these past contests. Just been a little bit of a break for me to catch a breather and get caught up on my personal life. So that's it for now. I will see all of you in the next video.